you go along with whatever narrative is put out there in the furtherance of whatever sectional agenda might be there to make others look forever good and others look forever bad. Maybe I should pause there. Part of what we need to grapple with here is corruption. Part of what we have to grapple with in Africa and the rest of the world is corruption. But it looks like we have allowed ourselves to be channeled into believing that corruption can only be in the public sector. Believe you me, it takes two to tango. We will never be able to defeat corruption for as long as we allow ourselves to be choreographed into believing that corruption can only be in the public sector. Or let me be a bit crude about it so that we can really get a root awakening, that it's a black thing. Every human being is capable of being corrupt. And believe you me, I believe we haven't even scratched the surface in relation to the magnitude of the corruption that obtains in the private sector. So, if we are to uproot corruption from South Africa and around the world, we have got to accept as a reality that there are masters of corruption everywhere, even in the Church of God. I mean, the shenanigans that we have seen ought to convince us that human infallibility dictates that you will find corruption anywhere. So we've got to move from the premise that we're going to make it our business, not by others at the expense of others, not to make others untouchable, not to allow anybody, including me, not to allow anybody to be rendered. Why are words running away from me? To be awarded an undeserved saintly status. When you try to scratch the surface about this one, even if indications are there's something there, you will be bombarded with insults and so much negativity that a loud and clear message is sent out that you dare not touch this one. Check. I'm a very frank person. But there are things which when I say, like saying there's corruption in the private sector, which is true. Or there will be one article over the other. It will not deal with what I'm saying, but there will be one sidekick after the other. And we will get this country right if moving from this meeting, we are determined not to be told who is clean and who is dirty. We are going to research it ourselves. And when there is a smoke, we will follow it up to its logical conclusion. Let me just mention, by the way, what I'm talking about. I read a story from one of the Sunday papers this past Sunday. There was a human being who was projected as nothing but a drunk. I was left believing that this man is always on a high. Nothing positive can ever come out of the mouth of this one. He is a thoroughly discredited person. And I was left wondering, but why did they have to rely on the evidence of this person? That's the narrative that I was fed. Until on Monday, the man appeared on Channel 405. Man was sound. He said, but what was written about me is a lie. And articulated what happened. I'm not saying he was telling the truth. I'm just saying that he didn't strike me as a mad and crazy man who lives in a haze all the time. Sadly, Some of the things that we read about other people, some of the things that some of our analysts would like to feed us with, are designed to project some in a negative light and others always in a positive light. That is not how to build a nation. You know, there are things that we don't just allow ourselves to look into, even if there appears to be a smoke. And they raised a particular issue. They said, but why are we not allowing ourselves to probe into this one? That's how we are channeled. You touch this one at your peril. Don't go there. The problem is there. Let me round this issue up by saying, it will be a disservice to this nation if we were ever to allow ourselves to believe that once you have dealt with the Gupta situation, you've dealt with corruption. It's a fallacy. I carry no brief for them. But think about it. When did our state-owned enterprises begin to lose money massively? Who else is benefiting from the coal issue at Eskom? What percentage of the coal did these people get? Have we ever bothered to find out? But how much are other people getting? Is it inflated or not? Who is benefiting from the South African Airways all these years? And any other state-owned enterprise. Why are we not talking about those? Why are we not curious? You're connected to the financially well-resourced. And if they fund you to the point where you succeed and win and become a government, are you not captured in advance? So we need to really think deep about how capture happens. There's no free lunch, and never for the millions. You may get free lunch maybe for 1,000 rand. But once I begin to give you 1 million rand, 3 million, 5, 50, 100, whether I set you up in business or in government, there will be payback time. Why should I make you a multi-millionaire? Why? Why do I prefer you over others? Why? It's an investment.